last Friday night on SmackDown, we saw the coronation ceremony, so to speak, of the new Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And that may have been one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite, Paul Heyman promos. The way that he spoke, the way that he stood so far behind Roman Reigns, the manner in which, because we just figured that as it was presented from SmackDown the week prior, when they're sitting in the locker room together, and then Roman coming out late in the show, signing the contract, we're like, oh, Heyman's pulling the strings. Then Paul's like, this guy called upon my services. This guy brought me to his level. Like, this is the Roman Reigns that we've wanted, I think, for a very long time. Like that promo, like Reigns just standing there, stone jaw, and then like when he talked, even he talked in a different manner, a different tone than we have ever heard from Roman Reigns. Like, and it went from wreck everyone and leave to what is it, like show up? What was the new shirt?
Show up and win.
Show up and win. Like, I love it. I want to buy both of those shirts. Like I absolutely love it. I'm here for this. We will get to, and I know Devin asked about our thoughts on him taking on Jey Uso at Clash of Champions. We'll get to that, but your thoughts on the further development of this Roman Reigns Paul Heyman pairing. Tim, we'll go to you first.
I think there's a sound on your sounder on the soundboard.
Is it this one?
Close.
Is it this one?
That's it.
That's the one.
It. That's the one.
Well, it starts with and then it ends with.
It's just a little wiggle, and then there's a big ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Paul Heyman cut.
And then a bit of
come in my face.
It's everywhere, man. It's like Stan's dad. It's Randy Marsh just sitting in a chair. Just everything covered in Spider-Man goop. But it's so good. I'm looking forward to this. Paul Heyman's wordplay was very missed for me. They're kind of already setting the scenes for something in the future. With particular verbiage where this champion will be badder and better than any other champion before it. Which is kind of timely considering that somebody's merch is off WWE's website.
Isn't there a pay-per-view in November where there's usually like a champion from one brand faces a champion from another brand?
I don't know. Is that also going to happen at Clash of Champions since Cesaro and Nakamura showed up on Raw?
Well, that's happening at Raw this Monday.
Whatever. Anyway,
I hope that's the start of unifying some titles till we're out of this COVID
I
era.
hope so too, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Roman being this guy, this is almost Hollywood Rock.
Almost.
We're getting there. We're really getting there. I'm interested to see where this goes and where the Jey Uso portion of this goes. I have an idea, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I might be wrong.
We'll get to there. Matt, any thoughts on the further development of this Roman Reigns?
We'll see. I'm just going to play it safe because we've been teased with this version of Roman Reigns a few times now, and we still are waiting for it, just like we were all kind of waiting for that John Cena heel turn that never came to be. I would love to see it. I hope it happens. I like the direction it's leaning, but Vince is going to Vince.
That's true. I will not fault you on that one. Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Your thoughts on this Roman Reigns. We'll get to the Jey Uso part of this.
Well, I'll tell you what, I really I never saw this coming. I'll tell you that right now.
There we go.
The
give you a ding ding on that one.
The SummerSlam tagline. You'll never see it coming. I'll tell you what. Pairing Heyman with anybody is going to be a boost to their career, if you ask me, or at least get them to a higher level, especially for the heat, the heel heat, if you will. Yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes from here, but like I'm a little cautious, kind of like what Matt was saying too, and with never getting that Cena heel turn. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts here anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously the second part of it is we saw Jey Uso win the Fatal 4-Way at the end of the night because of the attack on Big E, which I love. I thought I didn't like Big E being put into that match because I think this is a slow burn to a potential Big E championship, maybe even at WrestleMania. So you get Jey Uso in there, and then I think to everybody's surprise, Jey Uso gets the win and is now the number one contender for the Universal title at Clash of Champions coming up, I think, in 2 weeks from this Sunday. Definitely didn't see that one coming to play on the SummerSlam tagline, but I feel like this can go one of two ways. Either these guys can actually go at each other and have a long match, or, and I kind of tend to lean more this way, this could kind of be Jay joining the family, if you will, like the Heyman family, the Heenan family, and laying down for Roman Reigns. I could see it going more I don't want to necessarily go as far as saying finger poke of doom, but something along those lines where Roman just says, "Cause you know what to do," and go.
He would say, "Oos,
you know what to do." Exactly. Tim, I know you had said you have some theories here because I think that may be the direction we're heading with this.
And there's already a name for it. It's called the Bloodline.
There it is.
That's what I think. That's where I think this goes. I think that it's to insulate Roman, especially if he isn't necessarily featured on WWE television every week. You have the Usos. Also, it's kind of symbolic in the fact that it's Jey Uso that takes Big E's spot from injury, much like Kofi Kingston took Mustafa Ali's spot for a title. So they're giving us some sentiments of that moving forward. So Big E can feel some type of way. It gives Big E the opportunity to run through the Usos before getting to Roman. We don't know how long Big E's out for, with multiple lacerations from taking that white noise.
One of my favorite things WWE's doing is like there'll be a backstage beatdown and they'll go to like the worst of the worst with injuries. Like when Drew McIntyre like got punted by Randy Orton, they're like, he may have a fractured skull. Nobody can recover from that. And then like they're talking about like Big E, like, I forget like some of the verbiage they used on SmackDown. I'm like, guys, you really don't need to go worst case scenario here. Like, we don't need to be talking about, like
his spleen could be out.
Right. Like there was a time, and my brother took a picture of this and sent it to me years ago. Like he was playing Madden and there was an injury, and like usually it'd be like out for season, out for 6 weeks. This one like literally said like out for career. Like there was a career ending injury. Like I had never seen that in Madden before. WWE's
that happened to me once. I had a fantasy draft. I did a fantasy roster, and I had an offensive lineman, really good tackle, Devin. He used to play for the Browns, I think, or the Bucks.
God damn it, Will Fuller almost had a touchdown.
Offensive lineman. Anyway, he's great. But first game of the first season after the draft, homie is out for career.
His
I almost reset the whole game.
His was Peyton Manning, and like usually a guy has an injury, they like react in a certain way, and he said like Manning was like limping around in a manner he's never seen in a Madden game, and then like it pops up out for career. Like WWE's pulling these like out for career injuries on every TV show for the past 3 weeks. It's like, tap the brakes, folks. Like you don't hear like Michelle Tafoya tonight on Thursday Night Football going, you know what? I think he might be dead. He literally might have just died on the field.
I think I heard his spine crack into a couple pieces.
Yeah, I think he severed 6 vertebrae. He gone. Like nobody's doing that. Like let's tap the brakes. Like let's push people to go to WWE.com tomorrow because you know you're gonna put that update around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Just wait on it. Like you can say like it looked pretty bad. It looked pretty bad, but I'm not a doctor. I will always stress when I'm talking about injuries, I'm not a doctor. I'll stress when I'm talking about wrestling. I'm not a wrestler. Like, I don't need Caleb Braxton to be like, motherfucker dead. He dead. I don't need that. But I think, Matt, where your thoughts here on Jey Uso? I know you always go hard in the paint, Matt, as your one shirt. Will tell us your thoughts on Jey Uso and Roman Reigns.
That day one-ish, man. That's me. So I'm okay if they go the direction that you guys are talking about. I fear that they won't, just because again, WWE doing WWE things. But it's good to see people like Roman Reigns, like the Usos, guys that never really got the pushes get put into these main event rosters. I've been saying for a while WWE needs another family stable that we can just get behind, because that mess of drooling gargantuans from up in Canada, we need to wash the sour taste of all of them out of our mouths and start fresh with some Samoans. And I did like Nikki's insight to add Tamina.
Absolutely. I wish Ryan was here to give his added thoughts.
We need some little Jimmy.
If Tamina shows up, I'm out.
Well, we had a little Jimmy sighting on Raw this past week. He got involved with the ninjas in the 24/7 title. Mark, your thoughts here, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it'll definitely be an interesting match. I can't see any way of Uso winning. But stranger things have happened. I don't see that happen at all. But seeing Heyman take on the Usos tag team and have the bloodline thing going, that would be pretty interesting. I'd be all right with that. If I remember correctly, Paul Heyman managed the Samoan SWAT team back in the NWA days. So there is some history there with the fathers or cousins and Heyman. So it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. It's not going to sell me to buy the pay-per-view if I didn't have the network, but it'll be interesting to see the match.
Yeah, no doubt. And then before we get to the news and rumor roundup, this past Monday on Raw, we finally have a logo for Retribution, and we also heard them speak for the first time. Let's see here. I have it. The first Retribution member said, "This Thunderdome is only a facade. Behind this mountain of screens is the same foundation, the same WWE as before, the same behemoth that discarded and disowned us, leaving us to survive in an unfair world where the powerful continue to grow, while we are left to feed off nothing but the scraps of contempt." The second, which I'm 99.9% sure was Donovan Dijak, warned WWE superstars and fans in the universe. He said, "But contempt is a powerful motivator we are driven to destroy, to lay waste to every superstar and every fan. Blinded, you cannot see what you do not have. So the locust of contempt will feed upon all of you. The darkness of retribution will seep into the pores of every superstar and all of your so-called universe. We are Retribution. Which, first off, I will say I was in the Thunderdome on Monday, and it was a much improved presentation than it was the very first night for SmackDown before SummerSlam. The video was not laggy at all. And I know there's been some talk on social media about how like they're giving you some cues and things through the headset, and they are like they'll let you know when they're coming back from commercial. They will encourage you to continue to react when there's like wide shots and things like that. But to me, and this from my background with TV production and things, that's what you do in TV production. You give cues when you have an audience. Like, when you have a sitcom, there's an applause light up sign, there's a laugh light up sign, things like that. So but I will say it was definitely a much improved presentation of the Thunderdome the second time around. So kudos to the WWE for improving that in a short amount of time. I like that they are kind of developing the Retribution a little bit. I thought just the random attacks and lights going off during matches and things, like they were quickly losing people. I think to a degree some people are already kind of lost. I think whenever they do kind of reveal themselves, there's got to be a heater to it. There has to be somebody big and of importance. Now I know Dijak, you could tell was part of this week. Mia Yim, you could tell was part of this week. I think Mojo Rawley was one of the ones, but each week there's different people involved. So I think the key is when they finally do get revealed, there has to be somebody of big time importance that's a part of it. But I think the logo's cool enough. I like the way that they just interrupted the match this week, and I'm glad they finally had a voice to what this Retribution has been. Tim, your thoughts on the presentation of Retribution from this week?
I like it. There's a couple of sets of eyeballs. It's really good to kind of see. I think that I just said a whole bunch of nothing to say nothing. I don't know what the hell I just said. I was just stroking.
Stroking.
So I will change what I said. I think that the presentation of Retribution that we saw on television today or on Monday is the group Retribution. I think that is the pairing or the stable that we have. Everyone else is like the underlings or remember when the Dark Order first appeared, they had the creepers, just a random. I think that's what a lot of the group of Retribution will be. But the stable of Retribution will be that pairing, that grouping that was on the screen during the promo. I really want to see who they are.
Right.
Like, I really do. Because if it's all NXT people, it doesn't work.
No.
If it's all released people, I don't think it works either.
No, I think it's got to be a mix.
And I think that's what we're going to get. Like, it could also be a mix of like talent that's still under contract that was on a big brand and
Carmella for one.
I think there was one that was also there. I think Mojo Rawley.
Sure.
I think Mojo is a part of that group. But I'm very intrigued to see where it goes and how it's utilized. I know Nikki said she loves Nexus 2.0. I don't think it should be Nexus. I think it should try to find its own niche. I know there's a lot of similarities between the two.
I mean, I think it would be awesome if you had a leader of Punk or Cena. I unfortunately don't see that being the way it ultimately plays out.
Yeah.
It would really be cool if it was John Cena. Like the Punk thing would kind of be like, okay, we've been here before. But like this, like if it was Cena, I think it'd be really cool. Really, really cool.
Right. But What would it be for Cena? Why
Right.
would it be Cena?
Yeah,
Like,
I
the
you know, I
thing.
think
you have to think of like a person in the past who might have have been wronged.
He wasn't exactly underutilized, was he?
You know, there was a time.
Are you sure about that?
Matt, your thoughts on the presentation of Retribution?
As is the theme tonight, I'm just playing it cautiously. I like where it's going. It has great potential. And, you know, they can't always miss on these things. So I feel like they have to get at least one thing right here. So hopefully it's this. Of all the storylines I think they have, this is the one that's most intriguing to me. So this is the one that I would like to see play out the most.
How about you, Mark?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was getting a little worried there for a few weeks when it looked like the Retribution thing pretty much slowed down before it really took off. So it was nice to see him get a little traction this week in speaking. And yeah, no, the same thing as Matt again. I'm a little cautious. I think this could go very well, or it could just be a complete and utter failure like the invasion angle when they bought WCW. So we'll wait and see. And I was just thinking too, the Mia Yim, she just had an action figure released, so that has to be a sign she's showing up on the main roster, I would imagine.
You would think, yeah.
Very soon. I don't know if they necessarily do NXT figures. I'm sure they do, but yeah, I remember on her Instagram page she was showing her action figure, and I forget who else was in that series, but I think she was the newest person on there, so she must be getting called up here soon.
And I'll call myself on this one. I'm an idiot. I had Revolution revealed running at the bottom of the screen. It is Retribution. I fixed it, but yeah, I flubbed up on that one. So I'll call myself out.